My name is James Sargent and I am speaking to you today from the University of Limerick. It's nice to be included in the second Study in Ireland fair. Firstly, I'd like to introduce myself. So I'm the Southeast Asia Region Manager for the University of Limerick, and at the University of Limerick we include Korea in the Southeast Asia region. I'm a graduate of politics, and after that I was a high school teacher. I taught in a number of schools and a number of international schools in Asia, and where I used to work as a university counsellor. If you need to contact me, my email address is james.sargent@ul.ie. So if you have any further questions that aren't answered by this presentation, please don't hesitate to email me. First of all, I'd like to just show you this photograph of our campus here at the University of Limerick. It's a beautiful green campus. You can see the living bridge there across the River Shannon and the number of trees and green spaces. Now, research shows that being surrounded by green and natural spaces is good for your mental health and helps you to study. So definitely it's an environment where people thrive. So a quick introduction to the University of Limerick. It's a public university in Ireland, which means that it is funded by the Irish government. It's ranked in the top 100 young universities in the world. University of Limerick just turned 50 this year. It has a #1 international student experience in the world. That is a testament to the fact that our students are so happy here on campus. It's ranked in the top 200 universities in the world for career preparation and graduate employability. That's because as a young university, we really focus on making good links with industry, giving students opportunities to learn and be career ready when they come to graduate. Okay, just a quick introduction to Ireland in case anyone isn't sure where Ireland is. So this is the flag of Ireland. It's an English-speaking country within the European Union. It is the fastest growing economy in Europe for the last 5 years and has often been called the Silicon Valley of Europe because of this. There's so many tech companies that are based here in Ireland. It's a centre for excellence for tech, pharma, medical and other industries. And the cost of education here in Ireland is lower than in other English-speaking countries such as the UK, the USA, Australia or Canada. Now, I know lots of people are interested to hear how Ireland is dealing with COVID. It's really affected everyone's life in the world over the last 2 years. Well, in Limerick, we resumed on-campus teaching in September. And life has more or less returned to normal in Limerick. Why is that? Because over 95% of adults in Ireland are now vaccinated, and it's really been one of the most comprehensive vaccine rollouts in the whole world. And that means that life is starting to feel quite normal once again. If you're a student at the University of Limerick, you have access to free vaccines and COVID testing whenever you're here. And that's one of the key ways that our university has responded to the pandemic. Now, location-wise, Limerick is in the west of Ireland. It's the third largest city in Ireland, so it has about 150,000 inhabitants, so it's a small city, but our university is of a fair size. There's 17,000 students at our university, 3,000 of whom are international students. Our university is 30 minutes away from Shannon Airport and about 2 hours away from Dublin Airport. So often when students are travelling to the university from Asia, if they often will transfer flights in the Middle East and then fly to Dublin and then get the bus directly to Limerick. Alternatively, sometimes students will fly directly to London and then it's just a 1-hour flight to Shannon Airport, our local airport. The campus in the city, as I said earlier, the campus is very, very green. It's a suburban campus, so it's just on the outskirts of the city. It's got award-winning parkland. It's voted best for student experiences, and all the student accommodation, teaching facilities and social life all revolve around this campus in the suburbs of Limerick. Outside of our campus, there are a number of other further education colleges and universities in the cities, which means that 1/3 of the population of Limerick is under 24 years old, which means that the city is a very vibrant place to live and to study. Now, one of the best things about the University of Limerick is the number of clubs and societies. We have a 50-metre swimming pool, we have over 80 clubs and societies, so most of our students will be involved in at least one, if not more, clubs and societies, and that's a really good way for students to get involved, to make friends, and to really feel part of the community. Now, our clubs and societies logo, as you can see on the screen now, is the UL wolf, and I think that's a really good way of explaining how important the clubs and societies are, because obviously wolves, they hunt as a pack, don't they? And their strength and their success comes from working together as a team in the pack. And that's really the sort of ethos that we have within our clubs and societies at the university. Now, campus accommodation. There are a number of student villages across the campus. They are, in my opinion, beautiful places to live. Each student gets their own private bedroom and bathroom. They often have a shared living room and kitchen, and costs will vary depending on whether you're in a larger or a smaller accommodation, usually between 5,000 and 7,000 euros a year. Now, University of Limerick is a comprehensive university. It offers a full suite of studies. I'll just highlight a few things that are often popular for international students. There's within science and engineering, engineering is often popular. Computer science and information systems is also a very popular one. Often people are keen on that because there's so many tech companies based here in Ireland, so they want to start their studies in Ireland so that they can settle here and work in the tech industries that are so vibrant in our economy here. Education and health sciences. We have physical education and sports. I talked earlier about the fantastic sports facilities that we have on campus. Law is often a very popular one, and then all of our business courses tend to be very popular, especially amongst international students. Now, the structure of a 4-year bachelor degree at UL works like this. You enter a school in your first year. It's a common entry to the school, and you will have a range of common subjects. You will then declare your major within that school for your second year, where you will pursue your major. And then this is a unique selling point of UL. In the third year, every student will have an 8-month internship. It's a paid internship at a company. Typically, you'll get around about 2,000 euros a month, and it is organised by the university's career team. Now, this is a fantastic opportunity for students to develop their skills in the workplace environment so that they're ready to, after graduate, to really build their career. And then in the final year, the fourth year, when you come back from your internship, you will complete a research project or a dissertation. After you graduate from a bachelor degree, you have an automatic 1-year visa to stay and work in Ireland. And these are the typical fees. Structure of the programs for master's or postgraduate level. Master's degrees take 1 year typically. You have 2 taught semesters studying your specialist subject, and then after the second semester finishes in about May, then you will focus on your research project or your company internship. The unique selling point here is that you have a 2-year visa to remain in Ireland after you graduate from your postgraduate studies. So lots of students, whilst they don't have the opportunity to do an internship in the 1-year program because it's too short, they will stay behind in Ireland for 2 years and get vital work experience. All courses start in September. Okay, and they're the rough fees for our postgraduate studies. I've included this slide just so you can see the number of very well-known companies that are found in Ireland and that many of our graduates go on to work with. And it is important to realise how strong the Irish economy is. The Irish economy, it was identified by the OECD as one of the least impacted globally by the coronavirus pandemic. Excellent study and work opportunities through the visa scheme whenever you graduate from any Irish university. And you can work part-time during your degree. So many of our students will work at the weekends or in the evenings, often in the service sector. There's a high minimum wage in Ireland, so that can often go towards funding your life whenever you're here. Okay, and it's possible to stay on after you graduate, after you've completed your stay behind visas. And often students, after they've been in Ireland for 5 years after graduation, they will apply for permanent residency. Here's an example of a student, Natrada. She studied an MSc in marketing here at UL. She graduated in 2018, worked with Facebook at the EU headquarters. She's now a quality analyst with TikTok, and she's on her pathway to permanent residency. She's a great example of the sort of student that we have at UL who have come to study and then made their life here in Ireland. So the application process, how can you apply? You apply through our authorised agency. The documents that are required at undergraduate are a high school transcript, a passport and your relative English qualification. In postgraduate, you have to have your university transcript, your degree certificate, your passport, 2 letters of recommendations, a personal statement and your English qualification. Application fee for all applications is €35, and I'm afraid that there's no fee waivers. And for Korean students, here are the specific entry requirements. Right, so requirements for undergraduate studies. So undergraduate students need a foundation, will enter a foundation program before their degree if they've been in the Korean school system. Entry to the foundation program requires submission of a high school diploma with an average grade of 80% or above, including English, mathematics and another language, or an IELTS score of 5.5 with no less than 5 in any component. Now that's if you've been in a Korean school following the Korean curriculum. If you've been in an international school and you're following the international curriculum, then please do look at our website, because the entrance requirements are different and usually you will be able to enter into year 1. Requirements for postgraduate studies are bachelor degree from a recognised university with a GPA of 3 in the discipline that you are pursuing at postgraduate, and an IELTS score of 6.0 for science and engineering, of 6.5 for business, education and humanities. Now we do offer scholarships. They're automatic scholarships that are considered at the same time as the application. So it tends to be that the entrance requirements for the scholarship are just a little bit higher than the general entrance requirements, and those scholarships are for €1,500 per year. So that works out at €6,000 across the course of a 4-year degree programme, and €1,500 if you're in a 1-year master's degree. So in summary, why choose the University of Limerick? It's a fun place. It's very safe on this suburban campus. You will get internships and practical education throughout your education, and we have amazing employment opportunities when you graduate. Our university motto is wisdom through action. Thank you very much for watching my presentation today. It was very nice to give it to you, and please do get in contact if you have any further questions. Thank you and stay safe.